Hello everybody, welcome once again to the channel. ScorpioCesar here to deliver to you the review for the SH Figuarts Ultraman Belial. Ooh yeah. Alright, now that we finally have him in hand, I got around to playing with him some more, and let's get into the articulation first. The articulation for the head and neck is pretty good. You just have to kind of use those joints in conjunction with each other to get the most out of this. So first of all, Ultraman Belial can look down that much with his head, but with his neck you can get him to look down even further. With the head, you can get it to look back quite a bit, as well with the neck. Once again, you could get him to look back a very good amount. So in case you want him hunched over and, you know, like he just landed or something, he's just kind of looking upwards, you can get that pose, just like he did in Jeed when he first landed on Earth. That wonderful fin down here does recede into the body sculpt. That's always good. Unfortunately, because of the sculpt of Ultraman Belial's head, he's not allowed to kind of look left and right like most Ultraman can. However, with the neck, you just kind of have to pull it down so that this fin here comes out just a bit, and you can get him to turn his head left and right. You might get a little bit of a gap issue here around the neck, but really who cares? It's not a big deal. And here's something really cool as well that they carried over from the Ultrac line. Just like in the series, Ultraman Belial can open his mouth a bit, not too much, but enough so that it's noticeable and you can see that mean looking grill inside his mouth. Very, very sweet. So happy they rolled that over. For the arms can actually rotate inside this butterfly joint. You can get his arm to pop it in there and T-pose the hell out of him. Of course, arms can rotate all the way around. A healthy amount of double bend there at the elbow until the sculpt starts interfering with that. Now, I try to get some bicep swivel out of this guy, however, he's being a bit stubborn and I'm not exactly sure that's such a good idea to mess with. It is there if you do stress it enough, but I'm not going to chance it. And typical ball joint wrist here for the swivel and hinge combo. For the abdominal area, Ultraman Belial is equally impressive. You can get him to rotate with the upper body a decent amount. You can get some side-to-side action as well. With the waist joint and the ab crunch, you can get him to bend forward a really good amount, actually, right there as you can see, and you can get him to bend backwards a good amount as well. For the lower body, you pretty much know what to expect here if you got any of the Jeed releases or any new generation Ultraman aside from Orb. Same hip joint system. You can kick forward that much. You can move the leg only about that much, not too much until the sculpt starts interfering with that Ultraman ass. Hey, look at that ass. Leg, you can get it to kick out that much and do the splits, but always be careful with that because you do not want to have the leg rub up against there too much. You might get some rubbing of the paint and the plastic. There is some rotation at the upper thighs as well, so that's always good. You can use that to your advantage in getting the legs to kick back maybe a little bit more. And of course, double bend at the knee. With the foot, you get it to move forward that much, move back about that much, rotate it, pivot from side to side, and of course the always wonderful toe joint. Thankfully, nothing feels too tight or stubborn in terms of the joints on my figure, so I'm not having any problems getting this guy in some really sick poses, because Ultraman Belial is a very expressive character in the series, especially when he rotates his head in Jeed and he's just like, ugh. Yeah, so you could definitely get a lot of movement out of him, and he is wonderful to pose. Great articulation. Alright, now in terms of paint, details, and sculpt, man, Tamashii hit this one out of the park. All the little details like Belial's grill to the translucent orange red eyes look simply divine and downright sinister. The metallic black and red used on the body is exquisite, and you may see some instances of black paint missing some of the chaotic designs in the suit, but it's barely noticeable here. The metallic purple on the color timer looks wonderful, as well as the muscles on the suit that are sculpted well. One thing I wish this release had a little more of was the wrinkles and creases on the actual suit. It's here, but only really noticeable on the biceps, forearms, and thighs. Now this is something the Ultra Act release nailed, but this is just a nitpick however, and the rest of Belial looks simply gorgeous, especially those signature claws. Frickin' Freddy Krueger looking bastard. Lovely. In terms of accessories, he comes with 2 extra pairs of hands. Out of the box he has his default open hands, pair of closed fist hands to hold his Giga Battleizer, which comes with a receded grip and an extended grip. The details with the Giga Battleizer are alright. I mean, it's done in a black metallic paint, and the little details inside those sections where the kaiju are stored are done with a light blue paint. If you have the SH Figuarts release for Ultraman Belial Atrocious, it's the same exact thing. He comes with a pair of open splayed out hands that look really great, and they're good for setting up his signature pose for his Deathium Ray that he unfortunately doesn't come with. So I mean, however, he has a decent amount of accessories, but he doesn't unfortunately have the whole 9 yards. Now in terms of size comparisons, here is Ultraman Belial with some other figures in my collection, and as you can see, he looks great amongst everyone in the Ultraman line and even some of the SH Monster Arts line. And overall, despite the lack of pieces for his claws or his Deathium Ray, Ultraman Belial is a much desired entry in this line. He has a great range of articulation, and the design, paint, and sculpt are second to none. Owners of the Ultra Act release may want to skip out on this one, but fans of Belial and Ultraman fans in general owe it to themselves to do what they can to get Big Daddy Red as soon as they can. They did him a great justice with this release, and I couldn't be happier. And with that, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and watching my review. If you found it helpful and enjoyable, then do consider liking the video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel to help it grow. Also, I'd really appreciate if you are subscribed, do hit the little bell icon on the channel to get notified when I put up a new video. And remember all, connect everything, collect everything. The end card will have links to other videos that might suit your fancy. Ciao.